Hey Cloud Gamers, today marks the release of Superliminal on Steam, so we thought we would show the game on Shadow PC and maximum settings. Unfortunately it's not coming to GeForce Now right now, but hopefully it will in future. Huge thanks to Pillow Castle Games for letting us have a key to try this game early. Superliminal was super fast to start. You can see here in 10 seconds on maximum settings, 12 on Shadow PC, we're already at that start screen, and the loading screens, which are a little bit funky and do change, which is another quirk of this game, get you in and starting the game in under 30 seconds. So a great way to start is a first person puzzle, and this game will challenge your perception. Perception is reality or not in this case. This game really does give you a very different perspective, and yes, that is a pun intended. You will see here that we are playing on both sides. It really does challenge the Shadow PC, this game. You can see the GPU on ultra settings, well, very high is the highest for this game. It's really pushing that GPU to the limit on Shadow PC. This is running, as I said, on the very high settings at 1920 by 1080. I did push it up to 1440, but it did get a bit stuttery. But otherwise it plays very smooth. The graphics are very good, and the reason why it is pushing those graphics is because this is a perception game. Nothing is quite what it seems, and you'll see here, once you line everything up, things suddenly come into existence. And this is the great quirk of this game. Everything is based on perspective, but nothing is quite what it seems. And this is part of the puzzle that you need to solve. It reminds me of the Portal early days, where we have some underlying dark sarcastic tones from a computer AI voice. But this game is based in a dreamscape reality where you're trying to basically escape the dream, where you're conscious and trying to get out. This is part of some sort of therapy. I won't go into too much detail so that you can enjoy the game. But you can see here that it's very different for each kind of stage that you go into. Each little room is another little puzzle that you need to solve. So there are a few spoilers in here, so apologies for that. You can see that the GPU is really being pushed to the limit on the Shadow PC. Although it is more than playable, you probably do want to drop the settings down a little bit from those very high. And as we go into this room, we're going to switch over to Shadow PC on its own. And again, you can see how wonderful those graphics are. It really does immerse you in this world. I'm not playing the audio from the game because there is quite a cool atmosphere and some undertones that I don't want to spoil for the game. I do highly recommend this. It has been extremely fun. I'm probably near completion of this game, just testing it out before I started recording. I did get quite far through the game, so some of the footage here you're seeing is some of the later levels, and it does take a bit of a turn, and I'm not going to say much more from there. And it is very intriguing. I'll definitely be completing this game. And as you can see here, everything is about that kind of perspective. And this is why I think that the Shadow struggles a little bit, because there's a lot of real-time generation going on here. Everything can change size and scope. So here we have made the moon very small, and we're going to take a doorway out, and then we need to go through that door, so we need to make that door big. So you kind of move backwards and forwards, or raise it above your head, or bring it close to you to make it smaller, and that's how you change the size of objects. You can also rotate them. You can see here, once I've got the door where I thought it needed to kind of slot into place, but it just needed to be big enough for me to walk through. Just checking that there's nothing else here, but it's always fun making cans absolutely huge, and other objects as well. As we move over to the maximum settings side, we can see that the GPU is sitting around the 50% mark. And if you want to read the text here, you can see some of the kind of sarcastic undertones of this game. As I said, I'm not going to spoil the story, but things do take a little bit of turn, which is where I'm heading to now. And I've cut some of that out of the gameplay so that that's not ruined for you all. I highly recommend this game. It's been an absolute blast. I will definitely be completing it, and I think I might put this on stream as well, because it is such an interesting game to kind of watch as we solve what's going on. There's many different ways that you could solve these puzzles, but you can see here I was trying to make a ramp. It just took a few attempts. Because it's all perspective based, if I go too close, it will just shrink the object down. And if I go too far back, it just wouldn't fit in the hole. Most of the time you can get up and over objects, but this time it's a little bit too steep. But there we go, I got it against the wall and through I go. And this is the whole thing about perspective. It makes things very interesting because you can make an object suddenly absolutely huge, but sometimes it throws in little quirks like that. And you never know quite what's going to happen when you interact with an object, but it's always worth checking out the room as we go around. This game was released last year on Epic Games and is now just coming to Steam. I believe it's also on the consoles as of earlier this year, and it is definitely worth picking up. Thanks for watching, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, stay up to date with all the latest across all cloud gaming platforms, and I will see you next time.